Status update end of May 2025. So this is my first status update video in Germany. So I guess I wanted to start with a little bit of, in general, vibes of Germany. And yeah, I guess I am kind of already used to being here in Germany, to the routines and all that. But yeah, basically my routines are going to class, and class is in German, the teacher speaks in German, but pretty slowly and pretty easily to understand for me. But the vibes are always kind of awkward because you can tell that not really everyone understands it. And also, I'm kind of awkward in class because I don't know when to answer and when to not answer. So yeah, there's a little bit of tension there. But when I feel less tense and I feel like I can participate, or like I feel like I don't need to participate, then it's enjoyable enough because the teacher is a good teacher. Then some supermarket days, some laundry days, some little excursion days on weekends, some shopping. Basically, that's more or less how it's been here in Germany. Weather-wise, kind of rainy some days, kind of cloudy. April was super sunny and not hot, but sunny and warmer than probably some other Aprils. And yeah, that's basically a first look overview about Germany and how I feel here. My little house is very, very little, but I feel like I'm bringing a little bit of, like I'm kind of putting it together in some ways that make sense for me to stay longer. And yeah, I have made a video about my New Year resolution, and yeah, I haven't achieved them super well. I had some resolutions that were like, for example, exercise, and even though I have been moving myself, I have not been doing exercise properly done. So in that sense, I'm slacking a little bit. I haven't been writing as much as I should, but I am with my studies. I am doing well. So yeah. Then a little bit into April and the May. April was kind of presentation days, and then like starting with the topics themselves, which were pretty easy. The teacher had a good approach. Also, we had a secondary teacher, like a Sprachassistent or something like this, and that was fine. But yeah, in May he quit. He has quit after May, so yeah, we have had him only for these 2 months. But yeah, I guess he didn't feel like he was useful because he was just sitting there in class, not really able to participate because he was not the teacher, so he couldn't really explain his point of being Spanish. I guess didn't really make too much sense. I don't know. I understand his point of view, and to be honest, I agree with it. So yeah, to me it makes sense that he is leaving. It makes sense to me. I feel like there could have been some other ways, but yeah, I feel like it makes sense. Then yeah, in April there was like presentations and the subjects were easier, and then in May it kind of not necessarily got more difficult, but we did get more intense and more focused versus previously. In May I have done some little excursions outside of class because I think we had more free days. I think both in both April and May, but I feel like in May we have done at least every week some excursion somewhere, and yeah, it was nice. Then I'm going to take a look at February here to see what I was talking about. I was talking about my New Year's resolutions, which I have talked about again. I have talked about this fully in concept, which I am not really sure about. Okay, I just watched the video, and fully in, I mentioned that I am fully in the path to become a train driver. That was when I had it clear in my mind at end of February, or like February more or less, because of the medical exams. I had like nervousness about that. I forgot. Now I am in this path. So yeah, I guess this is continuous, right? I am in this path still, right? I haven't been kicked out of it. Then Munich trip. I am living in Munich, so there have been some similarities. There are some similarities, I guess. And yeah, I am kind of in this new routine, German related, now only in Germany, and then I am also fully in this path, right? Then books, book club, etc. I feel like that has I've let it past there. I haven't been reading anything at all, and I have, I guess, separated myself from that book club a lot. I barely even read the Substack itself. Also, because some days are paid, and I don't bother checking which days are paid and which ones aren't. I would like to be subscribed in order to get the fucking paid blog posts, but that was my point of reading the book club. But yeah, I guess since I'm not being able to dive deep into this same common mindset of like thinking about the future in that way, which I feel like could be useful, but yeah, since I'm not able to do it, I'm not super tapped into the books like I should, right? It's more like curiosity rather than like being in this reading the books with this common mindset. So I feel like, yeah, I'm not super into that. Okay, then let's look at the questions. These are some questions that I have been doing in these status updates since a while ago. So, how do you feel about your money situation right now? We have been 2 months with German. I have been through 2 months already of this German salary, which is nice. It's like a nice taste into how it goes. It allows me for saving for future goals like GTA 6, but as I wrote there, it is tighter than I expected, and I guess, which means that I am spending more lavishly than I should. But it's also not only that, but also that in the future there is still the uncertainty of like having to pay future rent. So it means that any amount I don't save is amount I could get in trouble for not saving in the future when I need to move into some place and pay deposit, etc., etc., right? So yeah, that's a problem. Then I'm not living lavishly, but I do buy a lot of caprichos or indulge myself with a wide range of excuses for them, right? Some of them are just chocolate, which I guess it's doubly bad because it's super expensive, plus it's not good for the body and like for my blood sugar levels, etc. But I don't know. I just kind of buy it. Then also some others are clothes, which in my mind it makes sense because it's for like experimenting with style, etc. and like trying to find better style and finding clothes that fit since I've lost a lot of weight. But yeah, it's also a lot of money kind of randomly gone that it's gone forever, I guess, right? But yeah, I am feeling better than some other days, and I guess I am feeling independent and I have enough, right? So let's write that in the end because it is important, right? But after all, no matter how I feel or about anxieties, etc., I am self-sufficient. Okay, I have to write for now, right? For now, because of this moving into a new flat incognito moment. But yeah, I am self-sufficient for now, and yeah, which feels nice, right? Which feels nice. And what was the point, I guess, of moving outside my country, etc., right? Being able to feel self-sufficient, right? Being able to be like, okay, I am paying rent, I am for at least for these 6 to 9 months, more like 11 or 9 to 11 months, right? I am paying rent, I am buying my groceries, I am doing all of this by myself. Yeah, no strings attached to anyone, no need to bother my parents or anything, with my own space, with my buying the little things that I want and that I have space for. So yeah. Then how do you feel about your job, employment situation, daily activities right now? I feel okay. I could do this too also, even though you could have seen this already. But yeah. How do you feel about your job situation, job employment situation, daily activities right now? I feel fine with my routine. I don't actually want more free time. When I have it, I like it, and the days go by fast. But I don't feel dread about how the days go, or activities I do every day, right? This is something that is true, I guess, right? I don't feel this kind of dread of, oh shit, uh, I don't have any free time. I would want to, I hate my job. I wish I could do X instead, right? No, it's like I signed up for this. I am doing this. Some days it's heavier, like the material is heavier, or like I don't really feel like doing it after class, right? After class, I don't feel like reading more about these train things, right? Train topics or whatever. But some days I do feel like, okay, let's settle this in. Let's try to review some things. Let's put this into Anki. And yeah, in general, I like how the days go, right? When I am in class and learning about trains, I like that, and the things that I learn make sense, and I feel like I understand them, and I feel like if the pace is too slow, if anything, right? I don't feel like that is the main problem. That the if anything, it's too slow, right? And if anything, the pace is too slow, and that's why I get bored. Which is interesting because I also I don't fully know the language and I don't know everything, but the pace is too slow for me, right? It's like I feel like we repeat unnecessary things too much and we don't, I guess, explore other curiosities or like other things, or like there is no room to explore wider, right? Then, art pastimes you like to learn or practice. I can't read. I don't feel like I have for time for that right now. And my New Year resolutions, yeah. So I guess I'm guiding myself, but by what have I said I want to do, which is wanting to write more, I guess. And I kind of do feel like I'm not writing enough. If I had time for anything, it would be to write, right? To just chill, like I did today, right? I chilled for an hour today in the terrace, in not the common, but like this fifth floor terrace. I chilled. I wrote, checked my phone every once in a while, wrote, and then my brain also has things like, oof, I wish I could do someday, grab a car, drive around, and yeah, eat somewhere and go back. But it's kind of too expensive and I can't afford to do that regularly. So it would have to be a special occasion, right? Which I don't feel great about. But yeah, or like just simply driving cars, these cars that I have available, right? In my mind, it's also for a video, but since I don't have the glasses for making videos, I also don't feel like it's like streamlined or whatever. But yeah, I think I may try to do it in the future when I've either saved up a little bit more money or yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Then also the bike driving license. I have taken a couple of pictures of like driving schools, but I haven't sent any emails since I'm here in Germany. I sent some previously, but I didn't get promising answers, so I feel a little bit like I don't want to get these unpromising answers again. But yeah, I feel like I should, I guess, confirm and like make it more definitive, I guess, or something like this, right? And yeah, as I said there, from my heart, I don't really feel impulsed to do anything like, I don't know, aside from that, to expand my horizons, right? Maybe it comes to mind like licenses, right? So from these projects, right? Licenses like, how do you say, boat licenses or something like that. But yeah, aside from that, not really. Then, how do you feel about the environment you live in right now? I wrote today here that I don't want to be ungrateful, right? I do have friends. I have it in quote unquote because the friendship question is always difficult, but I do have a group with whom to do activities, regularly hang out, etc. They invite me around. The vibe is chill, more or less, right? It's fun. Yeah, hanging out is fun. Having a couple of drinks with them is cool, right? But there's always a but, right? I almost have the same gripes as I had at home, which I guess makes me wonder if the problem is myself, right? Rather than the people themselves. And yeah, I would say that there are some characteristics that are common, which makes me suspect that maybe it's not entirely myself, but also maybe it is, right? And yeah, I guess I will go into that a little bit more in the who really makes me happy aspect of the question that is coming in a couple of questions, right? How do you feel about following your intuition recently? I feel like I'm rolling on rails lately, right? As I said in this train course, right? I feel like I'm going to class, doing the things that I have to do in class, or like distracting myself from the things I should do. And oops. Okay, I got interrupted by planning constraints, etc. So I have like to rush through these questions. But yeah, how do you feel about following your intuition recently? I feel like I'm rolling on rails, so not a lot of intuition, following opportunities, right? As I said, I was on rails, this train program, hey, and but yeah, I guess it is like a routine and it is pretty fast paced. I am doing what I have to do, and I don't have a lot of time to think about, and I don't have, I guess, a lot of opportunities to follow my intuition because the thing is like so, yeah, so planned or whatever. But I guess in the places where I feel about intuition, where I feel like I could do something about something, right? I do feel bad about my intuition, right? For example, I feel bad about when can I speak up in class, or when should I stay quiet, when can I propose some plan, when am I going to get rejected for the plan, when should I call someone and text them or like, hey, I'm going to do this thing, right? When not. I feel pretty bad about my intuition in those sense. Then, what really makes me happy? As I said, I would have written something like, I don't know, but I tried to do some things, right, based on some moments where I have felt like, ooh, nice, right? Experimenting with my style and achieving a result I'm satisfied with, maybe, right? Something like I'm trying on some clothes at the mall or whatever, and I don't feel, and it hasn't, the moment where I feel like, I hate this, hasn't arrived yet, right? It's like, okay, this is interesting, okay, this, I like this. These moments, I do feel happy. Then, eating something good, something with people, something without people, usually with someone because I haven't eaten by myself yet. But yeah, eating something good, I like that. Feeling connected and present, right? Tied to that, hanging out with people, etc. And the moment where I'm noticing the things that annoy me hasn't arrived yet, right? I'm simply noticing the good vibes, good conversation. I haven't felt tensions, right? That makes me happy. Then, who really makes me happy? This is a tie back into this. How do you feel about the environment you live in right now, right? And this is kind of a breakdown, more or less, of like who really makes me happy of the people, like who the people with whom I hang out with, who makes me happy in this sense, right? And I guess the short answer is 100% no one, or like to a high degree of confidence, no one. And this rank is not in happiness ranking, right? It's just like a random rank. Maybe if I had to happiness rank, it could be like 1 and like 3 could go up, or like maybe 5 could go up, or like it would be like a combination of 1 plus 3 plus in this context makes me happy, and in some other context, right, the combination of 3 plus blah 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 makes me happy. This about the combination of makes me not happy. Those things, right? Then okay, okay, so yeah, I feel like that was a better description, and now I'm going to run through the 1 to 6 people. I could rate 7 also. And 7, it's like I baseline like, and I like some beliefs, but also kinda to try hard for beliefs. Let's say ideologically poisoned for my taste, plus some odd, I guess, I don't know, behaviors, let's say, right? Plus hangs with 6 / loner. Then, okay, so yeah, first one person, cool and social, welcoming, driven, makes plans, etc. But it's low-key too fascist. Not really, but these kind of vibes of like alt-right type vibes, right? And so, and aside from that, I always feel some distance, right? Some social distance, as like I'm not included enough, right? It's welcoming in one sense, but also not enough, I guess. Attitude towards women is also strange for my taste, even though he has a girlfriend, right? And the girlfriend is nice, etc. But since I only know the girlfriend as a with him, I haven't known the girlfriend outside of that. It's strange, right? I don't know. And yeah, even though he is actually a center of the scheming that I'm going to mention in the future, the vibes, his vibes, personal vibes, are not like super schemy. Although there is a certain element of it which is intriguing, but yeah, the vibe itself is not super like that. But he is, after all, this kind of center of scheming, and like the scheming gravitates around him. 2, another person, more gregarious, social. It's still social, right? But he's more gregarious and he's like less driven. I always feel some distance as well. Also, the attitude towards women is strange, but it's like more moderated, I would say. But yeah, closer to my normal, but still kind of weird. And he does have more scheming kind of or separating vibes that which I don't like personally. 3, many things in common, interesting backstory, more depth, and this is a person with whom I have achieved more depth, and because we've shared more time together, etc. In groups, I feel like the vibe is a little bit stranger, but yeah, I don't know. All in all, I do like the person, and I would also say not Lokes too fastest, but Lokes, yeah, something like Lokes too, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure if Albise because he's not like, but yeah, the kind of like libertarian, Lokes too libertarian. Then 4th, weird backstory, so I try not to judge, but he does low-key get on my nerves. And yeah, if I ignore the neighboring tendencies, it's cool and I like the vibe, but also it's like weird combination. I don't know, it's difficult to get into it here, but yeah, basically the most thing is that if I ignore the nerving tendencies, cool person with some cool interests, etc. But the way of approaching his interests and the other people's and interfacing with other people is like so nerving that for me it's tough. It's a person with whom I sometimes find it tough to hang out with. Then 5, interesting beliefs, sometimes amusing, sometimes concerning. He's a cool person to hang out with, balance between openness and normality, between openness and I guess distance or something, but yeah, I guess he flakes a lot, right? He flakes a lot, so haven't spent too much time, right? Then 6th is like a guy who's like pretty annoying, especially in groups. One-on-one is entertaining and like he can carry a conversation, etc. And he can plan out things, etc. He's driven as well, but in groups he is super annoying, right? And I would say he is also conniving and scheming and does have that vibe, which I don't like a lot. 7th person, I baseline like, and I like some of his beliefs, etc. as well, but also I think he's too ideologically poisoned by them for my taste. Basically, he holds them too hard for me, for my taste. But yeah, he does have some odd behaviors, plus like hanging out with number 6 / going on his own way too much, which I guess is not good for my vibe right now, right? And which makes me happy question, makes me like I guess not really consider him as an option of like of one of the first people who makes me happy, you would say, right? But yeah, he is cool. I would say a baseline like, a person who I baseline like. Then, how is my health? I don't know actually. Uh, Blood sugar is probably worse because I weigh less and I eat a lot of chocolate, etc. Lol. So yeah, I haven't checked, but I probably have higher blood sugar than I should have. And I don't feel like the dizziness, but I do feel sometimes I do feel like some, I don't know, some notices that make me think, could this be blood sugar related? Then my left ear, seems to, I guess, clog sometimes, or like pressure clog or whatever. The same, even though I've done some wax removal, so I think the wax is not the issue. I feel like the issue is some other thing, right? But yeah, feelings wise, more or less body wise, I feel fine. Only new thing, I guess, is the calves. That kind of, when I work too much, I guess I don't really stretch my calves. So yeah, that's tough. But yeah. And yeah, that's basically it for today. Thank you for watching. And yeah, that's been my status update May 2025. Let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll make another status update before I go to Spain on vacation. July, right? It's almost 2 months after my birthday. Could be a good time. Maybe one in June, right? Maybe one end of June, end of July. We'll see. So yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.